Yes, here's a new bit of news about the Doctor Who's BBC Centenary special. Apparently, the visual effects are going to be spectacular. The visual effects editor, Emily Lawrence, is choosing and coordinating the digital and special effects from various special effects companies and from visual effects expert Ben Pickles. What's so funny about the name Pickles?
I don't know, it's the way you said it, like the way you paused, and particularly from Ben Pickles.
Pickles. It's because I was trying to say the quote without just reading the quote. I wanted to paraphrase it.
Okay, sorry.
I was trying to be fancy.
It sounded like when Blackadder says Bob.
Bob.
Yes. Go on.
Yeah, but anyway, here's the quote from Lawrence. We're in the thick of the Doctor Who Centenary special at the moment. I can't give anything away, but I can tell you it's going to be an absolutely spectacular episode with a lot of visual effects. Talking about the future of the show, or do we want to talk about this first?
Yeah, because visual effects, they're cool, but I don't necessarily, it doesn't mean quality. Like, you can put as many visual effects in, but as long as the story's got to be good.
I mean, I'd say like the biggest kind of VFX episodes we've had so far have been the first and last episodes of Flux. Yeah, the first episode of Flux especially was crammed with them.
And they weren't necessarily the best.
I think the CGI stuff with the ships and stuff was really good.
Yeah,
I think
good.
The green screen's
the problem, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the green screen stuff kind of showed a bit, which actually leads on to what Lawrence has said about what they want for the future of Doctor Who's special effects.
Yeah.
And they talk about the 360 screens in The Mandalorian.
I knew he was going to say that.
And how they used gaming software to create these amazing landscapes is something I'd love to see in Doctor Who. The actors walk in front of the screen and the environment moves with them. That means we wouldn't need green screen anymore, and we would really help the VFX vendors. And we wouldn't have to spend hours rotoscoping out the green screen. Basically, what do you know about the Mandalorian special effects?
It's basically like a big LED screen, like almost 360 screen that you can film the actors in front of. Yeah. Almost like going back to like Hitchcock stuff of putting a car in front of a projector so it looks like the car's travelling down a road. And
it renders in like real time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it uses the Unreal Engine, I think, which is used for video games.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But it actually says here,
yeah.
Disney's The Mandalorian uses virtual sets created using Unreal Engine, a powerful video game creation tool that gives the director complete control over the set and surrounding digitally generated environment. This would mean the digital effects would need to be created before principal photography begins instead of being added afterwards.
Yeah, cool. I like it. I mean, why would you not want to do that? The Mandalorian looks amazing. You can't tell. It's. I didn't know until afterwards when someone told me about it. Said, that's actually. It looks like they're on location.
It does.
It doesn't look like they're on a green screen. It's not like we're trying to find an easiest way of doing green screen. We've found a better way of doing locations without having to travel.
And the reason it's so effective is because the characters, like the background doesn't need to be made to match the lighting of the actors, because the actors are lit by the LED.
That's true, that, yeah.
Lights.
I thought of that, yeah.
So that's just like one additional thing that you don't need to figure out.
Yeah, I think that's great. And the fact that they're moving out of the current studios and they're moving into the Bad Wolf studios.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm really hoping where they filmed His Dark Materials and programs like that. I'm really hoping then that's going to mean there's that 50 million coming in.
Yeah.
50 million Sony investment coming into Bad Wolf. So yeah, I can see that being.
Imagine the kind of things they could do with a TARDIS interior. That was like CGI walls and stuff.
I would rather that be a practical effect.
I feel the same. Just because that's a set they would be returning to regularly. It just makes sense to make that.
And also just as a viewer to know that that's real. And that if you wanted to, if you could visit, you could go and touch the walls of the TARDIS.
I feel like you want a TARDIS to be a tangible, livable space.
Rather than just being a centre console and a green screen around it.
Which is something they could do, but I don't think they will do.
Yeah, that's my problem with Marvel movies at the moment, is I watch it, and when I saw Eternals, my whole thing was like, there's an action sequence where it's Angelina Jolie's character, I think it's like a giant rhino or something. And I was like, well, none of this is real. And I'm watching it going, but...
I thought a big emphasis of Eternals was that they shot a lot on location.
Well, this definitely wasn't, because she was like super speeding and giant mythical rhino creature.
Right.
It was just like...
So my thing is like, I feel like it sticks out the most in Infinity War, where they're on this like planet Titan, and it's got this huge, vast wasteland around them.
Yeah.
But the actors don't move more than like a couple of feet from where they are, because obviously most of that world they're in is CGI and not real, and they can't see it. So they're just kind of it still feels very kind of isolated and very claustrophobic because they're stuck to this one small space to move around. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
And you can just feel the artifice of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, but no, that's great. I mean, look, I don't think you should... my favourite episode of Doctor Who always was set on Earth.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you go to space and you go on spaceships, you either go into a factory in Wales that looks a bit like the interior of a spaceship, or you go to a quarry. So I feel like being able to do the 360 stuff with a big LED screen means that you can digitally recreate or create new environments that you haven't actually been able to film.
You'll really believe they're in a real quarry.
Yes. Well, no, I mean, you won't have to do a quarry.
Yeah, but imagine if they did. Imagine they just had this technology and they just made real-life quarries, did they?
We're in Cardiff Bay. That'd be quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other news, or is that the last of it?
That's all the news you sent me.
Shall I have a quick look to see if there's any other Doctor Who news that we might have missed?